Alright, so this is part 6 of the 2002 Subaru bearing replacement. As you can see, I've got the new hub in here, and I've got some nuts on, just so I don't lose them. It's always a good idea to put them back where you found them. So what happened was that the chassis lower tie rod was pretty chewed up from the last time that I did this. And of course this was a used car, so the castle nut and threads on the tie rod end were pretty bad shape to begin with. So I've got the old one off. To break this free, I applied heat. The tie rod end has actually got a groove that you can put a wrench on, to get these out. You'll apply force towards the driver's seat. This will spin off. This is the new tie rod, right? And so this make is a little bit different. You've got a grease point here, a zerk that you can apply your grease to for your ball joint. The stud tower is a little bit shorter, but it does match up well enough. I've go ahead and got some anti-seize on here as well, which may or may not be a bad idea. There was some thread locker material on here, but the force that you apply to this nut with this tie rod on the opposing end should be just fine. This groove here is for when you need to take this off in the future. So because this is tapered, you'll use your wrench, on this section rather than the old taper that was on the old tie rod here. There was actually grooves built in, and this is grooved as well. You can see that this is flat and this is flat, so you could always put a wrench on this end as well. So we're going to put that back in. Now it's going to go back into the hub over here, right? And anytime you take these out, they're going to be stuck. I'm going to grease the inside of this so that way the mating surfaces don't rust. But you'll put your castle nut on. You just want to be really careful with those when you take them off, because if you damage your threads and you need to, re-thread these or put a nut on, it's going to spin against the ball joint underneath. There needs to be no resistance when you put these castle nuts on and stick that pin back in. So with that, once we get it back on, we'll tighten these up. I have a black mark underneath here that I made already, so I can get this nut right back in place where it was at. If you don't do that, then you're going to have trouble, right? Because this controls your steering, so that needs to be right where it's at. Otherwise your steering is going to come out different than what it was before. So you want to make sure that when you back these off, you have a mark on your stud, so that way your nut lines up right where it was before.